So way to go, guys. There's just something that has been happening lately. It is amazing, magic. So Kristina Delgado is our speaker tonight. You don't know her, she's a superstar diamond. She just became a part of the Millionaire Club. She is a Success Club 10 legend. She is my coach, friend, mentor, everything. She is just admired by so many, and I know you guys look up to her as much as I do. So we're just excited to have you and just share your words of wisdom with us. I know we can all learn and, you know, take away and benefit from this. So welcome.
Thank you. First of all, let me say that you guys blow me away. Every week, my wall is just like inundated with your team's rank advancements, and I love it. This team, what you guys are doing is just mind-blowing. I don't say that lightly. I think the leadership is deep in this team. You know, having so many diamonds and star diamonds in just this short time frame, you know, that Danielle announced all these rank advancements, just means that you guys are on the right track. So I want you to first celebrate that. That's a big deal. I know sometimes this business gets, you know, there's some stress points. Sometimes it's a lot of fun, and then sometimes it's not fun. That's normal. I'm going to talk about that tonight. But for just a moment, you guys need to literally, everybody raise your hand and pat yourself on the back, because no, I'm serious. Sometimes you really need that self-recognition, because you guys are doing a phenomenal job. Every single one of you. Whether you had a rank advancement this week or you didn't, you guys have really pushed the envelope in terms of working your business and developing leadership, which is one of the things that is probably most important in this business. Once you get to, you know, that diamond level, is really starting to get your feet wet in leadership. And I think everybody on this call is well on the right track and headed in the right direction. So there was some questions posed to me tonight by you guys in the group. Danielle wanted me to talk about best practices, and then there was a question about time management and how I was able to do this business as a lawyer, as a mom, as a wife, to the point where I was able to retire, and then leading coaches to diamond. So before I answer those specifically, I'm going to talk more in terms of some tips that I wanted to give to you. I think something will stand out tonight that you can turn around and kind of run with in the business. And I've been thinking a lot lately of these tips, and I wanted to actually do a call on them. So I'm like, yes, I got the perfect group of people to share this with. A lot of this is not my original thinking. I'm not that brilliant. I just like to learn a lot from other people. That's how I say I've gotten to this point, is that I'm always looking. I look at Danielle and I look at you guys and I learn from you. I look at other coaches in the network. I learn from them. I implement. I ask questions. I collaborate with other people to see what they're doing. That's one of the things that I've, you know, kind of been proud of, is that I've been able to always keep learning, right? Because this business is very important, that you're always learning. You're always adjusting your sales, that if you feel there's something not going right, or you feel there's there's a drop in momentum, you're kind of stagnant, your rank isn't advancing like you should, you're not recruiting like you should, that you pinpoint what the pain point is, what is going on, and you fix it. Because I will tell you that in the last 5 years, there's been many times that I've had to fix and adjust what I've been doing. The coach that I was 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, and just last year are not the same person that you're looking at today. Everything has changed about what I do. So keep that in mind as you, not only tonight, but going forward in your journey, that you have to make adjustments. You have to adjust your leadership. You have to adjust your social media. You have to adjust everything in this business as you go along and you progress. So, okay, so here we go. I'm going to knock out my 4 tips tonight. And hopefully you have some takeaways, and then we'll get into some of the specific things. But I think a lot of it will be intertwined into my tips. The first one is you have to learn how to control the controllable. There's a lot of things that you can't control in this business. There's also a lot of things that you can control that lead to not only personal growth of your business, but growth of your organization. The first one is you can control Success Club. That is a decision that is made at the beginning of the month to earn it or not earn it. If you're wishy-washy on Success Club, I will guarantee you you're going to struggle to hit Success Club. And this is real talk, guys. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat anything because you guys are leaders. You don't need me to rah-rah you. You need, the nitty-gritty. Like how do you get from point A to point B? Success Club is non-negotiable, and you can control that. I have coaches on my team that it'll be the 30th day of the month, and they have 0 points in the morning, and I know they will hit it. I know they will hit it. Paulina Nowak is one. She hits Success Club 10 every month. Last month, she started, and I think through the 15th of the month, had -4 points. She hit Success Club 16 last month. She had -4 points by like the 15th and ended up with like Success Club 14 or 16. I know it. I know that Paulina will do it no matter what. That's the kind of attitude that you need to have in terms of Success Club, because it is a controllable action in your business and is the marker of success now and long term. I asked on the wall. So if you guys don't know this, Danielle's on the wall. If you're a 5-star in the company, you get added to a group on Facebook of all 5 stars and above and corporate. Carl Deichler's in there, Jeff Hill's in there. It's an awesome group for learning, learning new things about what's coming, etc. It's great. And one day I just asked, I said, I would love to know what the average incomes of Success Club 5 All-Stars, Legends, and Success Club 10 All-Stars and Legends. And while I have yet to get the number from corporate, because it's a very hard statistic to put together, everybody started commenting. And I will tell you that Success Club 10 Legends, if you have hit 24 months consecutive, they were already in the $1,000 a week to 6-figure incomes. They were in that range. I can't sit here and guarantee an income. You guys know I can't do that. But I was blown away. I know Danielle read that thread. I was literally blown away with what they were telling me. That their incomes in just those first 24 months of becoming a legend in their business with Success Club and, of course, recruiting, because let's not forget that they were well on their way to a 6-figure income. Now, you have the coaches that have hit Success Club 10 for 50 months in a row. My sister's one, I'm one, that are already Millionaire Club. No, so if I can say to you guys, if you're consistently hitting Success Club 10 and recruiting, because that's my second point, recruiting is a controllable act, then in 3, 4, 5 years, you can be earning all this. Isn't it worth it to make that decision at the beginning of the month to push yourself, to help more people? Yeah, absolutely, it's worth it. I think if you say, nah, Chris, it's not worth it, I think you're crazy, right? I would think you're crazy. So control what can be controlled, and that is how you treat your business and Success Club. Recruiting is another one. Recruiting has to be, as a leader, has to be one of the things that you're focused on consistently. I have a bar that I set for myself between 3 and 5 coaches. Some months I recruit 1. Some months I'll recruit 8 to 10. It depends. And that's another topic I'm going to bring up today. But you have to always have a recruiting mindset, a recruiting culture. Understand that the term recruiting to some is kind of like a negative. It's not. Think about this business and what it's done for you and what you love about it. And you might not be making, a ton of money. You might just be making something that's shifting your family. Isn't that important? Isn't that something that you would love to share with others? Because if I were to ask myself 4.5 years ago, when I made my first $200 check with Beachbody, and I think back to that moment where I was able to make a payment higher than minimum payment to my credit card, that was life-changing to me. Life-changing. That weight that I was carrying about those credit card payments were now eased just a little bit because of this opportunity, that to me changed my life. Like, I'm getting emotional. I don't want to get emotional. So why aren't you blessing? And I'm not saying that you're not, but I'm just making a point. Why aren't you blessing others with that? Why are you afraid to do that? Why do you hesitate to ask people to join you? Why do you hesitate to host a business opportunity call or a sneak peek on your own? Why do you hesitate to do these things when this business has been that blessing to you? And it doesn't have to be about money either. It could be about community. It could be about fitness. It could be about health. It could be about the example you're setting for your kids. It could be of all these things. But recruiting has to be on your mind all the time, because the combination of Success Club and recruiting coaches into your team is what's going to get you to those incomes that, you know, you can walk away from a job, you can, you know, do all these things and live, you know, this life of freedom. So those are the things you need to always have in the back of your mind. Still under the umbrella of control the controllable is your knowledge of the comp plan. One more time, is your knowledge of the comp plan. Danielle and I have spent hours. If we go back to all of our message where I'm beating into her head the comp plan, and she's got it now. She understands it. It's important that you understand it. I will never forget being at the Insanity certification that I had. It was Insanity, I believe. Yeah, with Allie. You guys know Allie Upham? She's awesome. She's a coach, and she was the trainer. And she said, knowledge is power. And I was like, that's so simple, but it's so true. And I know John Maxwell says that, and everybody says that. But when Allie said it in context of training us for Insanity, I was like, bing! It so is important in our business to know our business. One of those, and there's so many aspects of this, is our comp plan. And you might say, but that's so complicated. I have to read the policies and procedures and I don't get it. Knowledge is power. Knowing about volume, knowing how to maximize volume, understanding team cycle bonus, understanding how to get team cycle bonuses so that you can teach how to get team cycle bonuses to your coaches, understanding how our income breaks down. Have you ever, the other day I was blown away by a coach that had never opened like her commission. You know, when you get your commission, you go to my business, my commission, and then you just see the amount. Have you ever clicked on it so that you see how it breaks down, and that there's part of that that's team cycle bonus, there's part of that that's matching bonus. Some of you might not be getting matching bonus yet, but you will, and you want to know what that is. That's how I gauge my business now. The higher my matching bonus, the better I'm doing in leading my team. You want to know that because you want to be able to duplicate that. So many times I hear coaches that they don't they're diamond, star diamond even. And they're like, well, I don't even know how to get cycle bonuses. I got like an extra $100, but I really don't understand that. Do you understand that the more you know about that, it's going to be easier for you to understand how to get more of them? Do you know that there's caps on how do you get good question. Matching bonus is based on the production of your emeralds and above coaches. So let's say Danielle this week earns $1,000 a week. It's based on your coach's cycle bonuses. So you obviously, to get a cycle bonus, you need to be an emerald, right? So Danielle's one of my coaches, and that's just for an example. Danielle earns $1,000 this week in team cycle bonus. I earn 10% of that, so I earn $100 off of Danielle. That could add up, right? The more leaders that you have on your team, that little number can start adding up. So matching bonus is part of the comp plan. What does that mean? Leadership, right? The more coaches you have on your team, the more coaches that you have going to Emerald, going to Ruby, going to Diamond and Star Diamond, the higher that portion of your paycheck's going to be. Do you know there's caps on pay? Emeralds, you're capped at $250. rubies, you're capped at 1,000. Diamonds, you're capped at 2,000. It continues to go up. And you might be saying, well, that's crazy because I'm not even making 250. But eventually you are. And wouldn't it be nice now to learn how to cap so you could get there faster? How exciting is that to make $1,000 a month if you're not capping at Emerald yet? Knowledge is power. I'm going to stop there because I could probably speak for 3 hours on the comp plan, but you have to understand it, read it. There's so many videos on how to place coaches, how to earn, how to cycle bonus. Do that work now, because when a coach asks you, how do I do this, or what does this mean? It's just, rolling. You just understand it. You get it, and you're able to teach it and verbalize it to them. Control the controllable. You have to learn how to control your emotions about this business. You guys, life is rough. Just because you become a Beachbody coach doesn't mean that everything is sunshine, rainbows, and butterflies, right? Life will continue to happen to you. Life will continue to go on. There's going to be good days. There's going to be bad days. You have to learn how to control your emotions. People that, shut down completely for weeks on end because they had a bad day or something, went wrong. No, we don't do that. Okay. If you want to build a substantial business, if you want to build a growing business, one of the things you need to learn how to control are your emotions. That this business depends on you. If you don't show up because you're having a bad day or anything like that, everything kind of slows down. And momentum is everything. You always got to keep energy high. You got to keep moving forward. Can that be tiring? Yeah. But guess what? Bill Gates doesn't take time off when he's building his Microsoft empire. I'm pretty sure Steve Jobs didn't either until the day he died. He kept pushing, right? If you want to build this business, if you want to build this dream for your family, obviously we don't work 24 hours a day, but you got to learn how to sacrifice. You got to learn how to work through the bad times. Keep on pushing, because eventually one day you're going to turn around and say, thank God I didn't give up. Thank God I didn't stop when things got rough. It's the people that stop when things get rough that never see the dream become a reality. You got to keep pushing through. Your consistency is another one. Your motivation is another one. I can pump you full of motivation until you are blue in the face. That's one of the things I do pride myself on, that I can offer you guys motivation. I can get on a call like this and I can make you feel good, and I can give you hope, and I could give you aspirations, and I could say, I did this, you can too, and I could feed you all of that, right? I could also give you a YouTube link to watch a video that's so motivating that it brings tears to your eyes. But guess what happens 5 minutes later? You forget what I said. My phone is going nuts. You forget what I said. You forget what the video said, and you go back to being where you were, the state you were in before I spoke to you or before that you watched the video. That's normal. What you need to do is instill self-motivation in yourself. I wake up in the morning and I don't search for someone to pump me with motivation. I do it for myself. I do it for myself, and I do it through personal development. I do it through things like that. So, learning more and more and more. You guys have to be self-motivated. Leaders in this business have to be self-motivated. You can't depend on your coach or someone else or another leader in another team to give you that drive. I always hear every time, like, I'll post something motivating, or I'll see something, posted by another leader, and then 1 million people comment, oh, I needed to hear that today. Raise your hand if you've ever commented that on a post. Oh, I needed to hear that today. Right then and there, you should say, I should have known that already. I should have known that already, and I should have forged through. Those are the things you need to be self-aware of. That instead of waiting for someone, because really all we do is we tell you the same things, right? Don't give up, keep pushing, it's right there, the dream's right there, keep going. You should know that already. So wake up, and you got to implement action to get you there, instead of waiting for someone to motivate you. to take action. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay. This is real talk. It's all real talk. Okay. You have to be intentional as well. This business doesn't happen by accident. It doesn't happen by accident. You know, I always give the example of Lindsay Matway because she has such a big team. She has such a big presence, or Christine Dwyer, any of these coaches that have very large organizations. Guys, that didn't happen by accident. Melanie Mitchell's organization, that she just didn't wake up one day and have, you know, 2 15-star businesses. It's intentional. She wakes up every day and is intentional about her business. What does that mean? She hits Success Club. She recruits. She trains. She controls her emotions. She keeps plugging. Good, bad, she keeps going. She keeps her blinders on. Why? Because she understands that action takes you from point A to point B. Excuses don't. Lack of motivation doesn't. You know, sitting around and waiting doesn't. Not learning doesn't get you there. You got to keep pushing. You got to be intentional. If you know what you want, go get it. You have to know what you're getting, right? If you want to earn an X amount of dollars, how do you get there? Figure out how do you get there? How many people do you need on your team? How many people will it take you to develop that dream? You know, going 2-star diamond, you guys are all, you know, you're in that 1-star diamond kind of phase, most of you. That 2-star diamond rank is critical. So and this takes me to another point, but you always have to be forward thinking. Instead of saying, yes, I got to diamond, or yes, I got to 1-star diamond, saying, okay, that's good, what's next? So that was one of my other points, is be forward thinking. So write that down. That's number 2, be forward thinking. Always be asking yourself, what's next? Today, in fact, it's a perfect time to be asking this question. Have you stopped celebrating, right? Maybe you had your glass of wine already. Whatever it is, your beer, your glass of water, whatever it is that you like to do, because there were so many rank advancements. But have you asked yourself already, okay, what's next? Who's in my leadership pipeline? Who am I going to develop to 2-star? How am I going to get to 5-star? What does that mean for my business? Do I even know what that means for my business? 2-star is a big deal. That is when you get to open your second business center. Second business centers are generally the thing for most coaches that recruit into their business on a consistent basis, is that thing, I'm just going to call it that, a thing that gets you to the $1,000 a week. It pumps your volume, because you'll see once you become 2-star diamond, literally that third business center is what blows up your weak leg, or wherever you put it, and it just boom, it grows. It grows and you get to the $1,000 mark. So have you asked yourself already? Have you already been forward thinking enough to say, how am I going to get to 2-star? When am I going to get to 2-star? You're being intentional about your business, so you're setting a date for that goal. Who is it going to be? Is it going to be a spouse account? Is it going to be your up-and-coming leader? Is it going to be that new coach you just signed? Is it going to be a coach you haven't signed yet? Everybody always kind of forgets that, right? There's coaches that are still not in your business that are waiting for you, right? That are going to come in and they're going to get to diamond 2. So always be forward thinking. So that's number 2. Number 3, I skipped around, is expect that which can be expected. Expect that which can be expected. And here's some things that you can expect in this business. You can expect seasons of harvest, and you can expect seasons of drought. People are going to come. People are going to go. There's going to be peaks, and there's going to be valleys. You're going to have customers that have great relationships or experiences with customer service. You're going to have some that don't. There's going to be people that advance in rank and continue to advance in rank. And there's going to be people that advance in rank and then drop rank. There's going to be coaches that you sign and hit Success Club the first month and then don't hit Success Club anymore. These are things, and I can go on for like an hour about this, of things that you can expect in the business. It's how you react to them that matters. I will tell you that there is going to be times, and they're coming, right? They're coming January, February, March, April. Those are our seasons of harvest. People are just coming out of the woodworks. I mean, you don't even know them, and they're like, I know you're a coach, and I need 21-day fix, and give me that because I need to lose weight. And it's like, you don't even know what to do. It's like, this is good. I'm good. And then, boom, you hit a wall in June when school's letting out, in May and June when school's letting out, and nobody's focused on their fitness, and people are planning vacations, and they're more worried about that, and they're not worried about looking good in a bikini, and that's a period of drought. And then, oh my God, here comes August, September, and October, and then the holidays, and I don't know what to do with myself. Guess what? Leaders aren't fazed by that. Well, first of all, we expect that to happen, so we're not fazed by it. We expect them, so we strategize around them. My goal is always Success Club 10, non-negotiable. So whether we're in harvest or in drought, that will happen. That will happen. That is the way that I work my business. So how do I do that? I know that I have to talk to more people during those months. I know that I have to strategize good challenge groups during that month. I don't know if you guys saw my new thing, that whole Get Young. I know Danielle's doing the Project Me. Whatever it is, there has to be something that stands out, and there has to be a reason why it stands out to people. That's where creativity comes in. Sometimes you gotta break through that box. You know, a lot of times coaches, they see another coach do it, and they think, well, that coach is successful, so if I do this, I'm gonna be successful too. And so you put yourself in a box. But what you don't know is that if that other coach had success with that concept, and then you don't know how your audience is going to adapt to that concept, and they might ignore that concept. The only person that knows your audience is you. That is, you need to pitch to the people that you speak to on a regular basis. If you're, talking to busy moms, that's who you need to talk to. For me, I feel like I'm in that age group that's kind of shifting into the 35 to 40 group. My friends are starting to worry about aging. That's why I said, you know what, I'm going to do something about getting young and that kind of thing. And it worked. It worked. So you need to figure out what works for you, so when there's periods that are a little bit tougher in the business, that you know how to manage that you don't collapse, that you're not at the end of the month with 0 points and not knowing what to do, that you have already taken steps to strategize these months that are a little bit harder than normal, so that you come out on top, helping your 3 to 5 people a month. Okay, does that make sense? These are things that will happen. You can't build to diamond and stop. Why? Because I already told you, people will come and people will go. I have coaches that have been with me from day one. And I have at least 40 coaches that have come in with all the intention in the world and are no longer on our team. Internet is unstable, if you can hear me. But I need you guys to realize that we have to push through those. We got to keep going. That within your team, I know you guys froze for a second there, so I don't know if you heard any of that. But culture is everything, right? That's number 4. Within your team, so I know you guys are part of Fit Fanatics, right? Which has an amazing culture of growth. I think that this whole leadership spotlight is amazing. I mean, just amazing stuff. You guys do amazing stuff. But remember, you also have to develop the subculture of your teams. You want people to feel welcome. You want people to feel part of something bigger than themselves. And that starts with you. That starts with your leadership. Okay, hopefully, as part of Diesel Nation and that family, you guys feel that with us too. Welcoming, loved, a part of something. That's what we're always trying to accomplish within our team. That it doesn't matter whether you're a coach or you're a 15-star diamond, everybody is important. And that's what you need to do. That's what you need to do, because when people feel recognized, when they feel loved, when they feel empowered by you, when they feel that someone believes in them, they are going to produce. They're going to work. They're going to love this experience. Because, right, we do in our regular jobs. If you work a regular 9 to 5, if you are constantly getting praised, if you're constantly getting up that pat in the back and saying, good job, don't you work harder than if your boss is always screaming down your neck, or if you have a negative environment at work and you don't like your coworkers? Aren't you like kind of just getting by and not trying to get fired? Right? You're giving about 50%. If we elevate our cultures within our team, not only are you going to see more results in your business, but your coaches are going to see more results in their business. And John Maxwell has a quote that says, culture eats vision for lunch. And we always talk about vision, right? Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Where do you see your team? Vision is important, but culture trumps that. How do people feel about being on your team? How do your customers feel about you being their coach? Always kind of take an inventory of that. And if there's something off, then fix it, because culture is absolutely everything. Okay? And that's it. Those are my 4 tips. Okay? Is that good, everybody? You learned something? Good? Okay. Now, time management was one of the topics that I got, and then we can kind of wrap up because I think I covered everything else. But I'm going to just summarize it in one word. And I know I've said this again. Everybody has heard me say this. But I built this business as a lawyer, as a new mom, and as a wife. Crazy. I will agree with anyone that thinks I was crazy, that I was, because I went all in. I worked real hard. But the one thing that summarized those 4 years was sacrifice. I knew once I started working the business, I started, it was in January of 2011 that I started working the business. I surrounded myself with success in the business. So I never missed an event. I went to Atlantis. That was my first trip. I never missed. I didn't go to that first summit, but after that, never missed a summit. I lied at work to get to go to all these events. I remember one summit I actually didn't even tell anyone, and my boss emailed me and he's like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "I'm in Vegas." And I was like, that was probably not a great idea, but those things were important to me, because if I saw those other coaches be successful at this, then I knew I could do it too. And I knew that the way that I was going to have to do it, because I had all these other things going on, that I was going to have to sacrifice, that I was going to have to figure out how to work this business early in the morning, during the day, and at night, whenever I could. I got my husband involved. He understood. Did we argue? Yeah, because I was so impassioned by this business that I literally wanted to work it 24 hours a day. I know some of you probably feel that way. And that's normal, especially when you're building this thing. Is it going to be hard? Yes. What you need to do is you need to get everybody on board with you. You need to explain to your husband, I'm going to have to sacrifice some time during the day to work my business. You have to explain to your kids, this is mommy's power hour, so I just need 1 hour to work my business. I'm not saying you need 17 hours a day to do this. In fact, it's quite the opposite. If you can give your business 1 solid hour a day, then you're doing great, but you need to be able to sacrifice that time. Where can you trim the fat from your day? That TV show that you watch every night, is that a time that you could work your business after the kids go to bed? Shannon's asking about hosting team calls. I'll get to that in a second, but I sacrificed. Would literally wake up at 4:30 in the morning. So back then, when I was a coach and still working as a lawyer, we didn't have T25 and the 21-day fix and all these 30-minute videos. We were doing P90X and Insanity and Asylum that are all 48 minutes long plus. So I had to literally get up at 4:30 in the morning to get my workouts in and also work my business then, right before I took a shower and got the kids ready for school. So those are the kinds of things that I sacrificed on. Some people think it's crazy, but guess what? Crazy got us 4 years later to retire, to have all of this, and anybody can do it. If I can, anybody can do it. So sacrifice. That's the way that I sum that up. I hope that answers that question. I also have a call on that if you want me to share it. And then Shannon, I think this should be the last question. Doing weekly, the topics. Okay, so this is about topics for team calls. You could literally talk about anything for 30 minutes. When it comes to this business, I mean, literally, team calls are really about community. It's about getting everybody together, looking at their faces, getting them to be excited on a weekly basis or bi-weekly basis about their business. Recognition, like Danielle does, is very important. But in this kind of business, you can literally pick one topic: inviting, personal development, motivation, the 3 vital behaviors, and literally break them down. John Maxwell is also great. You can also, from John Maxwell's teachings, if you Google him, John Maxwell on leadership, you could literally pick apart his teachings and do team calls about what he talks about. Don't get stressed out about team calls because there's so many topics. In fact, one of the best tips that I could give as a team is starting and developing is that you ask your coaches to share their stories on team calls so that they feel empowered, they feel important, they feel significant. So even if it's just asking an emerald coach to come on and share their transformation story and why they became a coach, think about how powerful that is for that one coach and for your teammates to know who they are. So there's, billions of topics that you can pick. Anything about the business. You just go into the back office and you could talk about Emerald, you can talk about volume, you could talk about, anything. Just break it down into simple snippets of the business. Don't overcomplicate it because then people will start tuning out. Maybe like you guys are tuning out right now, right? Wake up. All right, there you go, Danielle. I'm done.
Okay, you're amazing. First of all, can I just trouble you for like 2 small more questions that they ask?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so your onboarding process and what you do with a new coach the first week.
Okay, so as soon as I sponsor a coach, obviously I put them in my personally sponsored coach page, and I send them 2 videos. I have a video that gives them a tour of how to log into the back office, and then I share a new coach training, either a pre-recorded call or I have a video of a call. After I know they've done that, so that I'm not answering questions like, what are my websites? Because that could take a lot of time. It's time consuming. After I know they've completed that, then we'll schedule a call to cover their questions. They have to come already with questions ready, and there we'll knock them out one at a time. And then from there, I tag them. I make sure that they know where our Diesel Nation resources are. That document that my sister put together with the scripts, they know where that is. They know I have a new coach welcome email in my personally sponsored page that I tagged them in so that they could read that. And then I always tell them that on the first week of the month, we start a new coach training. So it doesn't matter when they signed up. They could have signed up on the, September 5th. They have to wait until October 1st or whenever that, new coach training is starting in October to get their training. In the interim, we can have one-on-one conversations. But I'm trying my best to stay organized so that everybody knows what to expect on a monthly basis. Is that helpful?
Perfect. The next one, I need help pushing my coaches to see their potential, helping them believe that they're worth it and getting them past Emerald. I think she feels like a lot of our coaches are just stuck and, you know, it's making her feel stuck.
Okay. So one thing I've been doing a lot lately is to really focus on the transformation story, because that is not stressful. Having someone, when they come on board, and a lot of times they'll get to Emerald fast, right? Maybe you even did that. You come on board and you're excited and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna get to Emerald because I'm gonna sponsor my mom and my husband, and yeah, I did it. And then they get overwhelmed, because then you're like, well, you gotta hit success stuff, and you gotta do this, and you gotta start challenging your business. And then guess what happens? They forget that they have to push play and that they have to drink their Shakeology. And then they go inactive. And then who's stressed out? Everybody's stressed out, right? So what I've been doing is I'm starting to slow people down just a little bit. And even then, some people will just do it organically. But I slow people and I'm like, listen, I know you just became a coach and you're excited, but I want you to really focus on your 21-day fix program. That has to be your number one priority. And I'm not saying I don't go ahead and train them. I still do my onboarding process with them while they're doing their program. But I'm like, I stress it is critically important that you have a extremely positive experience with your 21-day fix and Shakeology. You have to drink it every day. So what am I doing? Enforcing Shakeology continuity. You can't stop drinking your Shakeology every day. That has to be number one. It is I'm in their brain. They know Shakeology is important. Shakeology is important to my business. Not only is it important to me, but it's important to my business. So I'm drinking it every day. And what happens is they end up doing really well with their program, and their business starts growing naturally. And it's not in a stressful way. So I want everybody to really hone in on the story. Remember, we are a health and fitness company. We're not a money-making company, which is great because we can make a lot of money doing this. But at the end of the day, people that have positive experiences with our products become more productive. I heard it at my first leadership. I'll repeat it again. It's a statistic that I never will ever forget, and I share it as often as I can, that 70% of diamond coaches were customers first. Okay? Keep that in mind. And so the whole thing was the story and developing their passion for their fitness program and for Shakeology is very important, not only for them, but for you and your organization. Like, you don't have what I call fly-by-night emeralds. They come in the first 2 days of their business, they go emerald because they sign a spouse and a mom or a dad, they do it, and then boom, next month, guess what? You have now 3 inactive coaches because nobody's drinking Shakeology, the products are stacked up in their house, and now we have a problem, right? Has that happened? Oh my God, I can count like 75 times that it's happened to me. So right now, that's how I'm combating that problem. Once I get them to really hone in on that, they're oozing Beachbody out of their pores, and their businesses develop much faster and with less stress. Okay?
Amazing.
That was that one question, right, Danielle?
Yep, that was it. You are amazing. Thank you so much. I think just to sum this whole call up was just about being intentional and go out and get whatever you want. Go and get your vision. Don't let anything hold you back. You are amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate you to no end, and thank you. A lot of value.
Thank you guys. Thank you for having me. I hope, I said a lot. There was a lot, trust me. But I hope something stood out to you. Just remember, you have to be able to control what you can and just keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. Don't let anything stop you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much. Have a great night, guys. Bye.